Hey guys, what's going on? It's Space Cowboy. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're doing the preview between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints on Sunday Night Football. The Dallas Cowboys will be traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints. And so this matchup has a lot of storylines going into it in terms of what's been going on. People saying the Cowboys haven't played anybody. This is going to be the first real team they face. The Saints playing without Drew Brees. Can they still manage to hold the fort down while he's gone? All this stuff going on. And so, with what we're seeing, can the Cowboys go to New Orleans and get a W? Absolutely they can. Look, I was looking forward to this matchup with Drew Brees. Unfortunately, with his thumb injury, he won't be he won't be playing. And it just sucks because, this was probably going to be one hell of a matchup for the year. Now it's just going to be another decent matchup. I'm not overlooking the Saints by any means. They still have a pretty solid roster intact. They got Alvin Kamara. They got Michael Thomas. They got solid weapons all around. Their defense looks solid. But there is a couple things of note that I should mention. The Saints have allowed teams to put up 28, 27, and 27 points respectively in their first three games. So their defense has allowed teams to put up a decent amount of points. I will tell you that the Seahawks scored a lot of their points late. I believe they scored like 20 points in the fourth quarter if I remember. So, I'm not and keep in mind Seattle was not playing so well in that game either. But when you look at what's going on in this game, and what we've seen from what the Saints have done, they don't have that same pizzazz they did last year, with what they were doing. Now, I understand, Drew Brees isn't there. So, obviously, that's going to throw a wrench in things. But when you look at Teddy Bridgewater, he did look serviceable, okay? He got the ball where it needed to be. He did exactly what he had to do and made sure that the rest of the team did their thing. And that's where I think the Cowboys can really use to their advantage is that if I'm the Cowboys, I want to... The game plan should be give Teddy Bridgewater the ball and let him try to sling it out. Neutralize Alvin Kamara and let Teddy Bridgewater beat you with his arm. That is my strategy. Because the fact is, is that Alvin Kamara, if you watch that Seahawks game, was the engine for them winning that game. I believe he had like 60-plus rushing yards and then like 90-plus receiving yards, right? If I'm the Cowboys, I look at that, and that's one... And obviously, you have Michael Thomas. You have all these other receiving options that are available to Teddy Bridgewater. But the biggest thing is shutting down Alvin Kamara. If you can do that, I want the game plan to basically be put the ball in Teddy Bridgewater's hand and basically make him beat you. If he does that, okay, at least you try. Because my thing is I have a lot more confidence in stopping Teddy Bridgewater, when the ball's in his hands, than trying to stop, the Saints offense with Alvin Kamara. Just because, and we saw what happened last year. The Cowboys were able to shut down Alvin Kamara, but this isn't last year, this is this year. And considering that Dallas defensive unit has pretty much maintained a lot of the key components and added some more to their arsenal, I think that the Cowboys are capable of neutralizing the Saints offense. I'm not saying that we're going to hold them to like 6 points, but if we look at what's going on with the Cowboys defense, and if they can do what they did, against the Saints last year in terms of how they stopped their run game, how they were managing to keep Michael Thomas out of the game and stuff like that, I think they'll have a great, chance at winning this game. I'm expecting a close one. I'm not underestimating the Saints by any means. I'm not expecting a blowout. Neither should you, because this is going to be a real test for this roster. We had 3 games so far to warm us up, to kind of get us into gear. The defense kind of saw that I would say in the Miami game when they were starting to get some sacks, some pressures and stuff like that. Robert Quinn has had a ton of pressures in his first game. I think he had 7. And that's like the 3rd or 4th most by a Cowboys defender on that defensive line the whole season. And that was only 1 game. I'm telling you, man, if the Cowboys defense has taken the time to get itself together and they show up in this game, it's going to be tough for the Saints to win this game. Okay? So on offense, the Cowboys just had to keep doing their thing. You could clearly see they're starting to get into some rhythm, and that's exactly what they need to do. They need to continue to use that rhythm and momentum from the previous games into this game. Even if they don't score 30 plus points, I'm expecting them to put up a decent effort for us to win the game. Even if that means Dak Prescott has to throw 7 touchdowns and throw it like 500 times, I don't care. If that means we got to run the ball 500 times and give the ball to Zeke and Pollard, whatever it takes, because I think that's what the Cowboys have been doing, is that they've been noticing, okay, this is exactly what we need to do, and they've been, pretty much executing that near, I don't want to say perfectly, but pretty good. And so, if I'm Dallas on offense, just keep doing what you've been doing. Just continue to find mismatches, and then attack the weaknesses of the Saints' defense. From what I've been seeing, and correct me if I'm wrong because I don't really watch the Saints a whole lot, but I've been noticing this, the Saints linebackers have not been playing well. I don't know what it is, but it's just like they have, they got their good defenders, they got the good DBs, their defensive line has some guys on there, Cameron Jordan, Marcus Davenport, those guys. But those linebackers have not been playing so well from what I've been seeing. Then again, take what I say with a grain of salt because I'm not an expert on the Saints. I've just been, me and my friends have been talking about that. And, I have a couple Saints fans that happen to be friends of mine. But, but with that being said, what exactly are we going to be looking for in terms of performance as a whole? And I know I've been jumping around, but you get the point I'm trying to get at. I'm expecting the Dallas Cowboys to put together a solid effort to get a decent win in New Orleans. Now, I'm not expecting a blowout. I'm not expecting the Cowboys to just... now, I would love that, but don't expect that because the Saints are a lot better of a team than people are making them out to be. They still have a solid roster around, and I think that they can put up some points. Do I think they're going to put up 30-plus points? Hell no. I think that they're going... Yes, they put up 30 points twice this season, but... against this Cowboys defense, I could see them putting up 20-plus points, most definitely. But it really depends on how their offense is operated against this Cowboys defense. If it means that Alvin Kamara is getting open, doing what he's got to do in terms of running the football, getting open in the receiving game, Michael Thomas doing his thing, that's the thing. Is the game is predicated on what happens with Teddy Bridgewater. I think the Cowboys offense will put up some points if the Cowboys defense can limit what the Saints offense has been able to do and put I'll say it over and over again, put the ball in Teddy Bridgewater's hands and let him try to beat you. If he does, okay, at least you tried. If, you keep letting these, the running attacks get to you, which they've been doing a good job at neutralizing the rushing attacks, other than week 1 with that first, the one play debacle against Saquon Barkley. Get that stuff contained, and I think the Cowboys get a W here. As for a score, I'm not really big into the score predictions, and I'm not going to bother with that. I think that the Cowboys will win by 4 points, 3 or 4 points. I'm not expecting a blowout by any means, and I'll say that over and over again. But I want to hear what you guys got to say about this game coming up. Do you think that the Cowboys will be able to stop the Saints? Do you think that the Cowboys will put up another 30-plus points? Will they get to 4-0 for the first time since 2007? We'll all see that. If it happens after Sunday Night Football. So with that being said, guys, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, follow me on Twitter, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Alright guys, peace out. Bye-bye.
I used to live in Sin Cities like Bruce Willis, but I'm Jackie Chan, karate chopping, I'm still kicking. I used to be chopped and screwed, I'm little flipping. Now I'm nice, Mike Jordan, so who's pimping? I'm running man, you the running man, you still slipping. I hit records, you swinging, it's still